On behalf of the Knights of the Inferno Partners, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Beautiful turnout. That's what I like to see. Never forget. And I want to mainly thank our sponsors. So without them, we couldn't do this. Thanks to them, we can keep this a free ride and keep it a memorial like we wanted to. So our sponsors are Politis and Manavina, Monster Motorcycles, Flagler County Government Services, this year's Ike Saloon, and Tropical Enterprises. So when you see them around, thank them for this. Also want to thank the Punishers. Without them, we couldn't do this. It's getting bigger every year, as you can see. With their help, we make it happen. And most of all, these guys right here in the green, blue, black, white, FCSO and their neighboring counties that come out here to help us make it a safe ride. They got a beautiful route picked out for us this year. They do a fantastic job of doing this. And when I ask, you can see they just come. The other thing is our flag holders, John's Towing and Rogers Towing. Donate their time, hold that flag for us. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies. Some of you know him, those that don't should. It's Tom Sorrells, Chief Meteorologist, Channel 6 Weather out of Orlando. Tom?
Morning. All right. How many years is this, Joe? How many years have I been doing this? Fifth, sixth, something. Long time. It's the best weather we've ever had for this event on this day to commemorate and not just go on and go, oh, hey, wait, it's 9/11. Like, oh, hey, remember the Alamo. Hey, it's 9/11. I have something to do. It's kind of special to me, special to my heart. I'm a member, honorary member of the Knights of the Inferno. I think you can look at me and tell I'm not a retired firefighter. I love this group though, and there's no place I would rather be than with you in Flagler County on this date. We're gonna go now. Presentation of colors from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard.
Wait. Praise it! Oh!
You see by the dawn's light, but some proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous side, where the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red there, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, no!
Great job.
Oh! Word. Oh. Left. Go left.
Awesome job, Commander King. Hey, is that the first time we ever had a flyover
I love that.
that worked?
Yes.
Right on time. Good stuff.
You can thank Chief Tucker for that.
Chief Tucker, thank you. That worked like a chant. Invocation time. Todd Freestyle Scores here. Chaplain of the Punishers MC, Flagler Chapter.
Welcome, people. We are gathered here today in honor of those who passed away and also survived 9/11. May we bow our heads and pray, Father God, for all first responders, that they remain safe on their job. Seek strength in you, O Lord, and all participants on the ride. Stay safe. Amen.
We move now to the firefighter, police officer, and EMT prayer. Firefighter prayer, Andrew Woolwine, the Knights of the Inferno. Andrew.
The firefighter's prayer. When I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save some life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horror of the fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and to give the best in me to guard my every neighbor and protect their property. And if according to your will I have to lose my life, please bless with your protecting hand my children and my wife.
Now for the police officer prayer, Kevin Berg, Punishers, MC, Flagler County. Kevin.
God, I ask for your hand over my life today. I step out into the unknown every time I go out, and I never know what troubles I may face. I need your power and strength to do what I feel called to do, and that is to protect lives and uphold the law. Lord, I know you are with me, but often it is hard to remember that in the midst of such darkness. Shower me in your protection. Enable me to walk courageously today in your strength. Help me to see the people I interact with as your creation and enable me to embody your ways. This can be a tough job, not just for me, but also my family. Help them to trust in your calling on my life, the life of a police officer. Bring comfort and protection to my loved ones. And Lord, help me to see how much good I am doing in this world by being a law enforcement officer.
EMS prayer now from Chief Michael Tucker, Flagler County Fire Rescue Services.
As I perform my duty, Lord, whatever the call, help to guide and keep me safe from dangers, big and small. I want to serve and do my best, no matter what the scene. I pledge to keep my skills refined, my judgment quick and keen. This calling to give of myself, most do not understand. But I stand ready all the time to help my fellow man. To have the chance to help a child, restore his laugh and glee. A word of thanks I might not hear, but knowing is enough for me. The praise of men is fine for some, but I feel truly blessed that you, O Lord, have chosen me to serve in EMS.
As Joe said earlier, we couldn't do this big show for you guys, a free ride, without our sponsors. Please welcome to the stage, Michael Politis. Hey, Michael, good to see you again, man. Thank you, Tom. And thank you for all you do.
Good morning, everyone. You know, it is an honor to be one of the sponsors, and I've been doing it for several years, and with the good Lord's help, I'm going to do it for a few more years. I don't have a lot to say other than I appreciate law enforcement in the back who's going to keep us safe and guide us. Retired law enforcement, the Punishers, the Knights of Inferno, and all of you who have taken time out of your day to ride in honor of those that can't ride. And it goes without saying, we are Americans, and we're going to rally and we're going to accomplish goals. We're going to jump over obstacles and hurdles, and you people are extra special because you're here to help support this cause so we can continue to enjoy it for the years to come. I want to thank you for coming. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Other co-sponsor is Monster Motorcycles, Tony Provenzano. Tony, are you here? Just say hello.
How you doing? I'm Tony from Monster Motorcycles. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, from me and the crew of Monster Motorcycles for coming. I'm not much for long speeches, but I did write a poem. I won't. Everybody be safe, be careful. God bless America. God bless you, and never forget.
Coming up next, we want to hear from our Flagler County Commissioners. Greg Hansen is here.
There's a couple things that I kind of come to mind when I think of 9/11. It's two words: valor and memory. Valor because of all the heroic acts that took place on that day, and memory for us to remember those people and how brave they were. So today is kind of a big deal for me. It's a big deal. So thank you all for coming out. Glad to have you. Ride safe. Be safe.
Mayor Catherine Robinson.
Good morning. I love this event. As I came around the corner this morning, I saw the flag flying and the song from Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. And I looked at all the motorcycles and all the people standing here. And I'm so proud to be an American. What an honor and a privilege to be here this morning. This is one of the highlight events for me every year. I've been here every time that I could get here. I stand on the corner and I wave at you to go because I don't ride a motorcycle, but I want you to ride and I want you to be safe.
Ride with me.
I'll ride with you. Who said that? I'll ride with him. Used to ride with a former pastor. We rode together, so I was always in the back. I didn't drive. 9/11, I was on the commission for a number of years and I decided not to run again. And then 9/11 hit. And I felt it was my patriotic duty to go do something. I couldn't go get a gun and shoot bin Laden. I couldn't go to New York and help there, but I could run again and protect and defend my city, my police department, my firefighters, my community. And so this event is especially significant to me because I'm still doing what I was called to do on that day. Thank you for having this event in Bunnell. I'm so proud that it's here in the city of Bunnell. Thank you for what you're going to do today. Drive safe, and God bless you.
Up next, we'll hear from Flagler County Fire Rescue Services Chief Michael Tucker.
Following loss, it's important to live. And it's important to pick up the shattered pieces of our lives and to build a new future. And it's through this building of a new future that we begin the process of healing and finding a purpose. Now, when I say healing, I don't mean the pain goes away. It may turn into a dull ache or a feeling of emptiness because the hole is still there. That hole will never truly cover over and fill in. That hole means that those of us who have lost are incomplete. That hole means we are not what we used to be. And putting the shattered pieces back together is a lot like putting together a stained glass window. You see, when you look at a stained glass window, you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it was made with broken pieces. And putting the shattered pieces of our lives back together means that we can build something beautiful and true. And putting the shattered pieces back together honors those that we have lost. But the reality is that putting the pieces back together again is just part of the process. We cannot expect to simply put the pieces back together and move on as if nothing ever happened. Remembering is as important as putting the pieces back together. It's in the remembering that we find the fiber of our being. It's in the remembering that we find the foundation upon which to rebuild. It's in the remembering that we recall the love that was given. It's in the remembering that we find the reason to celebrate those who lived and loved. Today we come together to remember and memorialize the individuals who were ripped from us by cowardly acts. Today we take the time to honor the lives they lived and the people they loved. The families and friends of those who lost their lives on September 11th of 2001 will never, ever be the same. Even today, they're still putting the pieces back together. But today we stop and remember them and their loved ones. We stop to remind them that they are loved. We stop to remind them that the lives of their loved ones mattered. Thank you for being here today and being part of that remembering. Thank you for taking the time to honor those who lost their lives on September 11th of 2001. May God bless and comfort those who lost. May God bless America.
Coming up next, we'll hear from Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Well, good morning. Before I cover my prepared comments, I want to thank the police chiefs and the sheriffs and the men and women standing behind me that are going to keep you safe today on your ride. So we couldn't do it without all of them. So thank you very much. So today marks the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, a day that changed America and frankly the world forever. 9/11 wasn't just an American tragedy, it was a tragedy for law enforcement and firefighters too. The events of September 11, 2001 caused more line of duty deaths than any other single police and fire incident in American history. It also was the largest rescue operation firefighters and police have done in the history of America and probably the world. 72 officers died directly from plane crashes, 71 at the World Trade Center and 1 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Over 340 firefighters and paramedics were also killed while responding to the September 11th attacks. Almost 3,000 civilians died from the initial attack or the years since from illness caused by the attack. And hundreds of first responders have passed away over the years as a result of illnesses contracted while responding or really running toward the danger to rescue victims at the scenes of each attack. New York City, Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon. More than 10 different American law enforcement agencies lost an officer that day because of the 9/11 attacks. However, as tragic as September 11, 2001 was, some good came out of it. The American spirit was strong. We were a nation united. Our resolve to get the attackers was strong. American flags flew over homes and businesses. We kind of need that again today, but not the trigger point. But we need to see more American flags and businesses flying in this country. And we need to be a united country. Like you, I always remember the resolve of the firefighters to raise the American flag they found above the rubble, sending a defiant message to the terrorists. And President Bush, number 43, standing on the rubble with his arm around the firefighter. That's probably because he couldn't find a cop, because we're never around when you need us, right? And someone shouted, "We can't hear you." And President Bush replied, "I can hear you. The rest of the world can hear you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon." And I'll always remember that. In fact, you've been watching the news the last few days. That's one of the clips that keeps getting played. But we also want to thank the military because they carried out that response to those terrorists. I almost said something that had to be bleeped, so I caught myself there. The attacks changed law enforcement forever today also. There's more cooperation between agencies at local, state, and federal levels, especially in information sharing. Many local law enforcement agencies, including the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, have dedicated resources to improving counterterrorism or implemented homeland security units to protect our homeland together, all to do everything we can to prevent another attack. The world is still a dangerous place, but local law enforcement is better now than it ever has been to meet those needs. I want to thank you for coming out to remember the fallen heroes of 9/11 and their families. We can never forget the families that also sacrificed so much, and those that continue to suffer from being a first responder or lost a loved one to this tragedy 21 years ago. We will never forget, and you being here proves that, because it'd be very easy to go on our lives, but we need to remember what happened. So I want you to ride safe. May God bless and protect you on this remembrance ride, and God bless America. Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll hear from the City of Palm Coast Fire Department.
Good morning. I'm Kyle Burial of the Palm Coast Fire Department, and I want to thank you for taking the time this morning to be here to remember the events of September 11th. I've spent the past few months in preparation for today considering what the best way to never forget the 2,977 victims who lost their life that day. Of those who died, 480 were firefighters, law enforcement, emergency medical personnel, and active duty military. We're still losing heroes from that day as nearly 10,000 first responders currently suffer from 9/11 related illnesses, and we're losing more every day. So how do we remember? I think one of the best ways is through an event like today. There's nothing more American than this parking lot full of motorcycles and all you guys roaring down the road through our wonderful community. And it's appropriate that we're here. And we're taking the time out to remember. When Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address to dedicate part of the battlefield to his fallen soldiers, he said, "It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this." I've been a firefighter for 17 years, and fitting and proper isn't usually like our first go-to move. We're a little bit rough and tumble sometimes. I know some of our other first responder brothers and sisters are the same. But I agree that it's fitting and proper that we should be intentional about remembering the heroes of 9/11. Remembering is more than a nice to have. We owe it to those who gave their lives on that day. We hear stories of courage from that day, like Stephen Siller, the inspiration for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Stephen was headed to the golf course with his brothers, heard that a plane hit the North Tower, called the mother of his 5 children his wife, and said, "I'm gonna go help." He went to his station and got his gear, and when he hit the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, he found it closed. So he put on all his gear and ran the final 2 miles to join his FDNY family. He was killed that day, and his remains were never recovered. He loved this quote from St. Francis of Assisi, "While we have time, let us do good." I contend another way that is fitting and proper for us to remember, to never forget, is to engage in the business of doing good. I don't think any of the firefighters who were running up the stairs that day were thinking, "I sure hope I can save these people today so that they can spend a lot of time taking shots at their neighbors and coworkers, so that they can be mean to the kid who's got his first job at the fast food place, or upset about the basketball hoop in their neighborhood," or whatever the thing is that made us angry in the moment. They were risking their lives for a person, and they thought people mattered. I believe there is no greater love than that of laying down your life for your friends. So the example that I want to emulate from the first responders of 9/11, away from me, and I think for all of us to remember, is to try to be kind and show love to our neighbors. We hear so many stories of the great families of our 9/11 heroes, and we can see that the holes that were torn in their hearts when they lost someone so special. My friend Arnie Roma has stood here and spoke here before. His son Keith died on 9/11 serving as part of the New York Fire Patrol. Keith was a great guy. He loved his family. He loved the New York Yankees. He loved the fire service. And I've got to witness Arnie and his family's grief and loss of such a bright part of their lives and how much they miss him. I think another way that it's fitting and proper for us to remember the heroes of 9/11 is to cherish our families. When we choose to drive out the anger and annoyances that can sometimes be what we see, and replace it with love and gratitude and purpose. We honor those heroes and what their families have been missing for 21 years. I believe we can never honor the sacrifices of our 9/11 heroes more than when we choose to live in a way that they would admire. And by doing this, I think we can never forget. We can remember their heroism every day. So thank you for remembering with me today, and may God bless you and the heroes of 9/11.
Welcome to the stage, Palm Coast Fire Department, Joe Masters for our bell ceremony.
Thank you, Tom. The following is probably one of the most solemn moments in the firefighters, the bell ceremony. Throughout most of history, the lives of firefighters have been closely associated with the ringing of a bell. As they began their hours of duty, it was the bell that started it off. Through the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell that called them to fight fire and place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. When the fire was out and the alarm had come to an end, the bell rang 3 times to signal the end. And now our brothers and sisters has completed his task. The duty is well done, and the bell rings 5 times in memory of and in tribute to his or her life and service. I request all personnel to present arms. Order, arms.
Time now for our gun salute intact. Vietnam Veterans of America, DAV Chapter 1048. Please welcome to the stage. It's time now to welcome back to the stage Commander Kenny Goncalves for God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the oceans, white would foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We welcome back to the stage Patrick Giuliano playing Amazing Grace.
Thank you.